everyone. Welcome back to Connect HR Hangouts. It's your favorite host, Pabi Mawela. We are back with yet another banging episode. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your loyalty. We love and appreciate you. A few house rules before we start this episode. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe, and click on the notification button to get a notification every time we upload a new episode. Thank you for tuning in today. As you can tell, we don't have a guest today. And the reason for that is because we are doing our top 10 favorite moments of the 10 episodes that we've uploaded so far. So tune in, stay tuned, and enjoy every single moment of it. Starting at number 10, we've got Putego Gama from Skills Panda. She was talking about the importance of having a centralized HR system. This is our most laid-back episode.
Well, technology is the answer to many problems, especially in the era that we're living in. HR-wise, I would say technology plays a role of a centralized management of data or data analytics, if you may. So if one has a centralized place or a repository.
A repository,
yes,
that's the terminology.
I was looking for that word. So if you have a
Yes.
centralized repository for information and data, I think that's basically what technology serves us these days.
Yeah.
In HR, you may need a system that can manage your expenses in one place. So I call it a one-stop shop, if you may, or a library for data collection, you know. So if you can have that and have to manage your expenses in that system, if you have to track leave, payroll, all of those things in one place with just a click. That's a solution. So I feel that is the trend, and people are moving towards that direction instead of saving everything everywhere. And you have to go look. If somebody's looking for leave record, you open one spreadsheet, and for something else, you go open another one. So it's a bit tedious. And I feel with the technology that is currently getting introduced in our era, we are most likely to use that one-stop system to find everything that we need.
And at number 9, we've got our most eye-opening moment with Rose Trewu from Influencer Sister, where she speaks about the misconceptions about influencer marketing. Shout out, Rosie.
So the biggest misconception with influencer marketing, first of all, with influencers is that there are people that don't think, people that take nice pictures, people that have comfortable jobs, people that have nothing else to do, or people that, just have fancy cameras. Not true. Influencers are actually a huge part of what I do. Without influencers, I don't have clients. I don't have brands that I can communicate with and grow. So there is a very big misconception that is understood about the influencer marketing space. And it's actually been quite a huge space. I mean, the origination of influencer marketing, if you think about it, is word of mouth, which is probably the biggest marketing tool that there is. And so they really... The growth of influencer marketing has actually been quite big, and we as in the influencer marketing space were the fortunate ones when COVID hit. That's really where now
People
all the budgets,
didn't know that.
do you understand? So now everybody goes, most of the budget now goes into the digital space, and obviously influencer marketing got the opportunity. Not that it wasn't around, it really, really was.
It was,
So now there are major employment opportunities within that space, because now, people aren't just taking content with just their phones anymore. You need videographers.
Yes.
People are not doing their own makeup. They need makeup artists. People are not doing their own editing. You need editors. So the influencer marketing space as a whole, from running a campaign from start to finish involves more than just saying, hey, do you want to do one Instagram post? It's a huge thing. You start off with strategies because you need a strategist. So there are plenty of employment opportunities.
And at number 8, we've got our best advice that comes from Jessica from Easy Equities. Our favorite moment that stood out there was when she said, the same energy you used to give bad feedback is the same energy you must use to give good feedback. Shout out, Jess.
I really do. I believe that the same way you highlight the bad, because when a person makes a mistake and you feel like you shouldn't have spoken to a client that way.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do X, Y, Z. The same way you should say, actually, you did a very great job with the client. With client services, we get a lot of that angry.
Yeah.
I want my money. I want this. And you, on the other end, have to literally be don't take it personally. I'm at work. And hi, mama. You try to bend their arm to make them, and it's not an easy job to get somebody who's very hot and just, wants to fight, to get them to come down and be like, I think you've actually helped me.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do that. And I feel like that needs to be acknowledged, that you have that, you literally just, you put somebody in your arms and you took care of them. We always say at work, listen, don't ruin a person's day. Don't make it difficult for them. If they do call in or if they send an email, make sure that at the end of the conversation, they don't feel worse than what they were when they came. Exactly. Yeah. And like I'll say it again, it's not an easy job. So when you highlight the bad, please highlight the good. It will obviously invoke that confidence. And then a person feels like, I'm actually doing a great job. I'm good at my job. It will increase productivity. A person is happy to do their job.
I agree. And at number 7, we've got our most engaged episode. That was fun with Tuna Bam, where he mentioned the 70, 20, and 10 principle. Thank you, Tuna. We see you.
It's work by this model, which is 70, 20, 10%.
Okay.
And
70, 20, 10%.
70, 20, 10%.
Okay.
And this model we use in learning and development, the 70 is all about what's happening on the floor. It's about you sharing your knowledge with your colleague, your colleague doing the other way around. You are being set set on a stretch assignment.
Okay.
Where you get into someone's role to learn.
Okay.
Perhaps if you need to step into that role. So that will be your stepping stone.
Okay.
So the 20% talks a lot around the coaching, the mentoring, the webinars that you attend.
Yes.
And then the 10% is the formal.
Okay.
So that framework, I think if people use that framework of the 70, 20, 10 model, the learning happens throughout. And then it's just not the 10% of formal studies.
And at number 6, we've got our favorite quote from our favorite guest, Mr. Katune Mangaya. He said, live as though you're going to die tomorrow and learn as though you're going to live forever. Thank you, Mr. Katu, for that. We take it with us.
Need to learn as if you are going to live forever. But obviously, when you live as if you are going to die tomorrow. So that is how you will be able to pick up, these are the potential leaders. And after picking them up, what do you do with them?
Yeah.
So which means you need to coach them.
True.
And give them feedback constantly. It mustn't just be a once-off thing.
Yes.
It's a process.
Yes.
So which means you give them feedback. And again, if they're doing something good, you need to reward them.
True. And at number 5, one of my favorite guests. No, I'm not biased, but she stood out. We've got Tumelo Mohlapudi from Credence Mental Health talking about mental health in the workplace.
The workplace is a very sensitive
environment.
Where everybody wants to prove themselves, right? I don't want to come across as weak. I don't want to come across as incompetent. You understand? Because, I got to put bread and butter on the table.
I need to feed them kids.
I need to feed them kids, girl. So you always want to portray this image of, you know what, I got this, I'm okay, or whatever. And then that facade then now starts killing you because it becomes so heavy.
True.
You understand?
True.
You can't pretend for so long. Trust me.
You can't.
I can bite my
your sijabana, your elbow.
I can bite my sijabana. You cannot. You cannot pretend for that long. The cracks are bound to start cracking.
Yeah, you'll see the cracks.
You understand what I mean? So that's where employers need to be alert, because now when we are ignorant of mental health in the workplace and we don't take care of our employees, or asbanagi,
Yeah.
you understand what I mean? Then you're gonna miss these things, and then the next thing, you're gonna know when the alarm bells are beep, 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 beep. Employees having a psychotic fit,
Yes.
or a breakdown, and then the whole office is a mess. People are traumatized, and only to realize that this has been long coming. I mean, if you're with a person every day, you can see a change in behavior.
Yeah, you definitely
Guys,
can.
When they're a mess, they're
They're
just a
mess.
mess, or they're withdrawing a lot.
Withdrawal.
You need to make ways to. That's why I always encourage companies to say, guys, a company cannot not have a wellness program.
Shout out to me. Thank you so much for the fun and jovial episode and energy. And at number 4, we've got our most inspirational moment with Dolly Ngonji. She gave us the advice to the next leader. Thank you, Dolly. We are the next leaders. Yeah.
You must master your craft. Have credibility in the now and what you're doing now, because nobody will endorse you if you don't have credibility in what you're doing. You need to excel, irrespective of the kind of environment you find yourself in. Be confident and master your credibility, because that's where you're going to get respect. 2, you must be able to build targeted relationships with people that are going to influence where your career is going.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that.
You've got to be able to. Unfortunately, there are people that will help you transcend to another level in terms of where you're wanting to go. So you need to be able to identify which ones those are, and you must be able to nurture them. And I think personally for me, that's worked well for me, because most of my sponsors and my mentors have come from that. But again, they've seen that I can deliver. They've seen my credibility, and they're like, I want to be associated with that.
Yes, definitely.
Because what that does, Pabi, is that when you create focused relationships, people are able to speak about you in boardrooms, even in your absence.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
So that's why
very
it's important for you to kind of master and create those relationships. I know that most, not race dependent, to your point, most people suffer from the imposter syndrome.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And I want to demystify that the imposter syndrome is a negative thing. It's actually normal. I believe that if you didn't have the imposter syndrome, you're very comfortable with the next, and you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you need to be so jittery and kind of worried, but in a good way, and anxious in a good way, that you ask yourself the question, okay, how am I going to shift the dial where I am? It's a good thing. It's really not a bad thing, up until it gets chronic, though, that you can't perform, right? And so identify it when you do have that imposter syndrome, but also say, how do you use that to turn it around to perform? Because you're worthy to be in that space.
And at number 3, we've got our most memorable moment with Andy Saliba from Float Pays. She said, don't die at the show. Thank you, Andy.
The first thing, embrace who you are.
Yeah.
I think don't feel the pressure to assimilate to the world and to assimilate to others. You are walking your own individual, your own very special journey. Sometimes you may feel like you're behind. If you look at your peers, sometimes you feel like you're just not tracking well and you just don't get it. You get frustrated. Understand that your journey is unique to you. And I think tell your story from a very authentic place.
Yes.
And remember that, before we were all masters of anything, we all were beginners of something. And so you don't get to master things if you don't appreciate small beginnings. Right? So I think appreciate the power of small beginnings. There's so much lessons that will cultivate you to form into a better version of who you are and who you are destined to be.
Sure.
Own your mistakes.
Yeah.
The greatest school of life is, the life where you're able to grow from mistakes and sometimes your errors. And it doesn't feel great in the moment.
Yeah.
But to have the wisdom to know that the lesson will materialize, perhaps not now.
Yeah.
right? Like right now, you might be like, ouch, that hurt.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh.
Yes.
And the wisdom comes with time. And so time is not your enemy, time is your friend, because time is often the greatest teacher.
Yeah.
And the things about yourself you'll learn in the future, you'll look back and you'll think, I wish I was a little bit more patient with myself.
Yes.
And so I think be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. We all are walking a very unique journey.
Yeah.
And the journey is unique to you. And so I think resist the urge to assimilate or try and copy others. And that's hard to do, particularly in the world that we're in, right?
100%, yeah.
With all the stimuli we get and the influx of information and social media and the pressures and everyone's life looks lit.
Yes.
But you don't know what's behind closed doors.
Yeah.
You don't know what's behind the
Yeah.
curtain. So trust that what's behind your curtain is what works and what's designed for you. Embrace it. Hold on to hope. Hold on to hope. You're going to survive, maybe this is my parting shot, you're going to survive many oceans. Right? Carry that strength so that you don't die at the shore.
Sure.
You'll survive many, many oceans.
Yeah.
And a lot of people often just don't, they run out of steam
Yeah.
when it matters the most. When you're right there, like the finish,
And then you just-
the finish line, and you run out of steam, and you miss your mark. My greatest fear in life is to miss my mark.
Yeah, yeah.
Is to survive so many things, right? Like the Kilimanjaro, the breast cancer, the being hijacked, the all of these things, and then to run out of steam when the universe is about to unlock something that's beyond my comprehension. And so I always say, you'll survive the oceans, but just don't run out of steam at the shore.
Yeah.
Because maybe as you land in on the shore and you don't need the ship anymore,
Sure.
that's where your greatest blessing is waiting for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the rough seas. It wasn't in the midst of strife. It's where everything was calm.
Sure.
And so we often think that, we go through stuff and then the next best thing is going to happen. And sometimes life needs a pause because it needs you to take stock.
Yeah. And at number 2, we've got the most educational moment with Mogo Mhlaivana, where she mentioned the top 10 notes about personal development. Thank you, Mogo.
In order for you to take care of yourself, you need to sit down and take inventory of your spirituality. You can't divorce that. Whether you believe in Buddha or you believe in Jesus or you believe in your ancestors
Or the universe.
or the universe,
Yeah.
your spirit first, more than anything. Okay, so you need to check what's happening in my spiritual life. If umuntu ophahlayo, go and check, do I need to do a ritual? Or is everything okay there?
Okay.
If you are a Jesus person, do I need to meditate on the word? Whatever it is, check your spirituality because that's where most things come from.
I agree.
Okay? It's like the body. The problems stem in your gut. If you want to check if someone is ill, first deal with the stomach because that's where the bacteria is. So your spirituality. Of course, family.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how people think that you can just live without being mindful of your connections with your people in your family.
Yeah.
Some people you'll have to leave, some people you'll have to reconnect with. But the truth is, your family plays a vital role in your success as a human being.
Yeah.
And of course, your success as a human being affects your success in business or in your career. Everything is together.
Yes.
So you need to check your spirituality, you need to check your family dynamics. Be cognizant of which relationships do I need to be rekindling, which ones should I be cutting off. But don't be so quick to cut off people.
When are you with the scissors?
Don't be so quick
Rock,
to cut
paper,
off the
scissors,
people.
yeah.
Really think about those relationships.
Yeah.
Then the other one that you need to be aware of is your romantic relationships. Do you want to be in a relationship? Should you be in a relationship? What role are you playing in this relationship? What role is the other person playing? You know, sometimes you don't need to be in a relationship.
Why, Vel?
Sometimes you really don't need to be in a relationship. Sometimes you need to be alone so you can heal, so that you can discover who you are.
True.
Sometimes you need to cut down the noise, but sometimes you need to be in a relationship because it is the relationships that we have with people that are also a mirror of who we are
100%.
and how we are and how we think, you know, but you need to then sit down and say, honestly speaking, according to my life right now, do I even have the capacity to be in a relationship? In my career, does it allow me to be fondling or to be here and there? You know, do I have the capacity to be in a relationship?
Yeah.
Another very important subject, you need to look at your money. Have a serious conversation. Are you happy about the money that you're earning? If not, what must you do in order for you to have more money? You know, like, have a very serious conversation. Budget. You know, as young people, I'm telling you, we do not want to budget, and it affects us in so many areas of our lives. Money plays a very vital role. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody fool you. Money is very important. And if you cannot have money conversations with yourself, you certainly will not have money conversations with your boss.
Yeah.
You will not have money conversations in your relationships.
Yeah.
And these are things that are very important because you need to be saying, if I'm going to be signing deals, whether it's a contract at work or whatever, I've had the money conversation with myself. I know how much I want to earn and I know how much I'm worth. Therefore, I can speak about it at work and I can speak about it in my relationship that, listen, I can only contribute 20 rand to this relationship. But that comes by virtue of you having had that conversation with yourself first.
Yeah.
Another area, you need to be cognizant of your fun and recreation. Some people are just fun and recreation.
Oh, got you.
Some people are just having fun, unplanned fun.
For what?
Unplanned fun.
Okay.
And then, and here, I want you to hear it. It might sound silly, but if you have unplanned fun, you know that on Monday you've got an early morning.
Yeah.
A friend of you, you've got to go to work. Your friend does not work. Your friend does not work, and they invite you out on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You're gallivanting at 2 a.m. and you've got a Monday morning meeting at 8.
True.
Now you're miserable.
On Monday.
And you're saying, oh,
chicken
Monday
lick and
blues.
hot wings.
You know, you're not focused at work now because
distracted.
you've not planned your fun. And this is especially for young people. Nobody says don't have fun. No, have fun, but have planned fun, knowing that Monday morning I don't have a meeting. I can at least, you know. And these are the things that affect us even in our work.
True.
You know, not having planned fun, and it affects us in our money as well, not having planned fun, because now you are sitting with people that are popping bottles and you don't have money for that. And now you're under pressure. Now you want to also do something, you see?
Yeah.
It's a problem, and it all spirals everything out of control.
Yeah.
Another area that one needs to be really cognizant of is your personal growth. You can't be the same person that you were last year.
I am an advocate of that.
You know?
Yeah.
You really we need to hear that the conversations are different.
The times are moving.
Times are moving.
Yeah.
If you upskill yourself in your personal growth, you will certainly want to upskill yourself when it comes to your career development. It'll be easy because then you'll see, no, last year, Yazin, I'm not happy about what happened. Maybe let me add a course.
Thank you.
To upskill, you know? Or let me learn something about emotional intelligence.
Yes.
You know? Do something.
Professional etiquette.
Professional etiquette. You know, read up. Maybe this year I want to read more of Forbes or more of something. I want to maybe even go and attend Forbes.
Yeah.
I'm planning on attending Forbes this year.
Nice.
You know, so that I can go network and all of those things. So you need to be a person who is intentional about your personal growth.
Yeah.
The kind of conversations that you're having, the kind of books that you're reading. You can't be Netflixing and chilling all the time. Watch Connect HR. So that you can hear what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly, and all sorts of things. You can't be watching things that don't grow you all the time.
Yeah.
Now, and you are intentionally wanting to grow in your career space. It's absolutely impossible. It's a marriage, this thing.
And at number 1, my favorite ever, the most funniest moment, still topping the top 5, is Moho Mhlaivana when she said, "Don't be a nyamnyazi person." Moho, thank you so much for the great episode.
Your friends, why are they your friends? Why are you hanging out with people that are telling you that or at the meeting? I'm telling you, it happens.
Is that a thing?
I once had a friend, and I was just like, "What? This cannot be a thing. I'm leaving this guy." He was a friend of mine. I left him. I was just like, "I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
Because this person does not support who I want to be. That if you are not aware of the things that are happening in your life, taking inventory of everything, then you're on autopilot. Then you just go where the wind blows. Then you'll just take any job. Then you'll be like one of those nyamnyazi people that claim to know how to do something and they don't know how to do it because you don't know your strengths, you don't know your weaknesses, you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going. Now you're leading us all to nowhere because now we believe in you and you see now. So first and foremost, when we speak about personal development, those are the things that one needs to be cognizant of.
And that was that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for every single guest that has joined us thus far. Our podcast is still growing, and we are hopeful that we are yet to have other moments that we will share in the near future. We wish you all the best, and just as I mentioned in the intro, please comment in the comment section and please let us know what your favorite moments are. You will unlock a prize. You don't know what's waiting for you. Thank you so much. Tune in next week. We've got a guest that was going to blow your mind. We love and appreciate you. It's your sizzling host, Pabi Mawela. Thank you so much.